Hey you guys, welcome to Lisa and Company. I am Lisa, and if you enjoy budget-friendly DIY design and decor, you are in the right place. If you're joining me from the hop, please make sure you head down to the comments and say hello and introduce yourselves. In the meantime, why don't we get started? So you guys, for this challenge, we had to take 10 Dollar Tree items and make as many DIYs as possible out of them. So I'm starting today with a sign, a Dollar Tree chopping board, and a whole bunch of these Gothic Dollar Tree window frames. For DIY number one, I am going to be taking two of these frames. I've already taken these little cards off, and we are going to cut one of these and reattach it to make a slightly larger frame. I'm going to use the saw that came with my miter box, and I'm just going to cut it off right above that line. You can see better than I can explain it, and then we are going to use E6000 and hot glue to put these together. I picked up this little sponge caddy in the cleaning aisle at Dollar Tree, and I think it is going to be absolutely perfect to finish off this project. First, I am going to take it outside and give it a coat of white spray paint, and these suction cups, yep, I am absolutely saving them for another project. You just never know. Before I attach that, I want to go over the entire frame and give it a coat of my antiquing wax just to give it a nice aged finish. I did do the same thing on the little sponge caddy once the spray paint was dry, just so that it had the same look and finish as the rest of the project. And I'm just going to use a couple of Dollar Tree zip ties to attach this on. I will admit that part was a little bit finicky, but once I had it in the right place, it did go on according to plan. Once I'd finished messing around with that, it was time to finish this project off. I had a piece of this Dollar Tree moss tape and just a leftover piece of floral foam, and I'm just going to pop those in here just so you can't see what's going on behind it. And then I'm going to add a little bit of greenery that I had kicking around in my craft room. And this is exactly why you want to hold on to all those scraps. This was just a few pieces left over from a previous project. Today's hop is being hosted by my friend Yelena at the Blondie Next Door. She is one of the people I have known the longest on this YouTube journey, and I love collaborating with her. If you haven't checked out her channel, make sure you do. And while you're at it, don't forget to check out these channels of all my other collaborators. I have tagged them all down in the description box. For DIY number two, I am using one of these frames, one of the Dollar Tree bamboo boards, and a few of these block/beads I had left over from another project. This one is so simple. Don't blink. We're going to be done so fast. So first things first, I'm going to attach these blocks to the bottom of my chopping board. Then I'm going to take my arched window and attach it towards the back of the chopping board. Now you'll see when we get to the end of this DIY why it's important that you want to put it towards the back. And of course I'm going to use my old standby of hot glue and E6000 so I get that long-term, short-term hold. Just remember not to mix your glues because it really messes around with the chemistry that makes them work. I am going to use a couple of my leftover Jenga blocks just to attach this to the back and give it a little bit more stability. Now, I actually could have stopped there, but it wouldn't be a Lisa and Company video if I didn't paint something black. And I had a feeling this was going to look really striking in black. So I went ahead using my homemade chalk paint with acrylic paint and talc and gave it 2 good coats. Now, I lost a little bit of footage here where I finished it and sanded it to distress the edges, but oh my goodness, this is a contender for my favorite in this video. I'm so glad you could join us for today's Dollar Tree hop. We challenged ourselves to spend $10 at our Dollar Tree and make as many DIYs as we possibly could. Now, I had a really good time with this one. I took my 10 items, I made my DIYs, and when I got to the end, I had some pieces left over. So you're getting a bonus DIY today. Now, how does this work? When you're finished watching my video, and hopefully you'll give it a like and you'll subscribe to my channel, head down to the description box below where you're gonna click on the next video in the hop. That is going to take you to my next friend, and I'm not telling you who it is, and you're going to watch their video and do the same thing and the same and the same until you've watched all 5 of our videos. For the third DIY, I'm going to be using one of these spring signs from Dollar Tree as well as one of the arched frames. Now this one is in gray and I actually really like the color, so I'm pretty much going to leave it. I will tell you I noticed this one was a little bit more rough and needed some work to trim off some of the black backing. So I'm painting my sign white, just giving it a quick coat, using what's left on the brush to dry brush over that Gothic frame, and using a little antiquing wax over the white paint. Now, I have taken the tag that was on it originally, I'm trimming it up a little bit and making a proper circle rather than an oval, and I'm actually going to reuse this piece right back on this DIY. This is like Dollar Tree DIY with a little bit of trash to treasure thrown in. Now I'm almost ready to put this together, but first I want to take one of these Dollar Tree rub-on transfers and use it to finish off that little piece of cardboard that I just painted. I love using these and I just think it's going to finish this off just right. I'm going to glue this back onto the arched window, then I'm going to glue the arched window onto the frame, and this DIY is done. Super quick, super easy, and super inexpensive at only $2. This one came together so quickly and so easily, I almost hesitate to call it a DIY. For this DIY, I'm actually going to use 3 of these window frames, take them apart and put them back together just like I did with some of the others, and then I'm going to use a really fun paint technique to finish this off. I wanted to make this a little bit more finished looking, so in order to fill in those spaces, I took a little bit of my drywall compound and a popsicle stick and just filled them in. When they're dry, I'll give them a quick sand and then we'll get on to the paint finish. I did go ahead and add a couple of craft sticks to the back just to give this a little bit more stability. This is a product I used a couple of videos ago where you use a copper primer, then paint, and then you spray on a patina and you get this great copper finish. It's made by Rust-Oleum under their Modern Masters label, and I had so many questions about it. So first, I'm going to paint the entire thing with 2 coats of the copper primer. Once that is dry, I'm going to go ahead and do 2 coats of the copper paint. And while the second coat of copper paint is still wet, I'm going to spray it with the patina spray. I absolutely love this stuff. It's almost instant gratification watching the way the color changes right in front of your eyes. Look at that, a genuine patina on a copper finish, not a faux paint finish on this one. I absolutely love using this stuff. I have a couple of other colors, a rust one and an oxidization that you're gonna have to keep your eyes open for in a future video. I just love the way this one looks, truly like a piece that was ripped out of an old building. So why a bonus DIY, not just a DIY number 5? Well, I had a whole bunch of these arch tops left over, so I decided to stick a couple together and make something out of them. Again, I used the craft sticks on the back to make sure I had a fairly sturdy piece, and then I gave it a quick coat of my homemade white chalk paint, which you guys, I've been using for quite a while now. And then all I did was take some of the leftover greenery I had, wrap some twine around it, and stick it right on the front. And you know what? For a bonus DIY, this is right up there with one of my favorites from this video. I just love it. I love how simple it was. I love how easy it was. And the best part, I was using stuff I would have thrown in the garbage. Look how cute. This could go like anywhere in the house, and because it's still got the hook on the back from the original window frame, it is so easy to hang up. You guys, that is it for me today. I really hope you enjoyed all 4 of the DIYs we made today on our Dollar Tree hop, plus the bonus DIY. Now it's time for you to do your job. Head down to that comment section below. Let me know which one you enjoyed the most, maybe which one you might recreate. And don't forget to click on the next video in the hop so that you don't miss any of the videos in today's hop. There's 5 altogether, and make sure you work your way all the way around. I really hope you enjoy the videos my friends have put together for you today, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Thank you guys so much for stopping by Lisa and Company. I really am grateful and so appreciative of your support. Do not forget to join us over on Instagram, where I share all kinds of behind the scenes, hauls, and well, whatever crazy stuff my family and I are getting up to. And until then, we'll see you in the next video.